Hello everyone. Today I will show you how to unbox and assemble the 11 strokes Ashvmegh Mandir. Inside the box, the first thing you get is a how to assemble guide. This guide is available in English as well as Hindi language. Apart from that, there is also a stencil for wall mounting which we will require at the end of the assembly. Now you will get a plastic bubble wrap pouch with all the mandir parts inside. The first thing you get is an LED light which is required for the top plate. Then you will get a sachet of Fevikwik, which is optional that you can apply after the assembly is done, and a plastic pouch with a pair of screws and plastic brackets for wall mounting. Now once these parts are removed, you will get laser cut parts of the mandir which has a DIY assembly process. Let us all remove and keep the parts separate so that everything is visible. So in total you can see there are 7 parts, part number 1, part number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now I will show you how to assemble these parts and create the mandir. You take part number 1 is mentioned here, and place part number 1 on the table such that the bottom 3 slots are outside the edge of the table. Once part number 1 is placed, you take part number 2 which is mentioned here, and you insert part number 2 in part number 1 on these 3 slots like this. Ensure that you are pressing firmly so that the mandir fitment is tight and there are no gaps. Once part 1 and 2 are assembled, you take part number 3 which is mentioned here and insert it in part number 1 in the next 3 slots, again ensuring that the slots are outside the edge of the table. So once part number 3 is also inserted in part number 1 firmly, then you tilt the mandir sideways, and after that you take part number 4 and 5. Part number 4 and 5 are identical, but the numbers are mentioned on the plates. So you take part number 4 and you place part number 4 on top of part 1, 2 and 3 such that each slot and holes are matching. Matching the holes and slots is very important so that the plates fit in perfectly. So once the plates are matched, you press each hole tightly so that the mandir fitment is tight. Once part 4 is done, you tilt the mandir on the other side and insert part number 5 the same way that we inserted part number 4. First we will match each hole and slot, and once that is done, we will press against each slot so that the parts are fitted tightly. Now that this mandir is assembled till this stage, you take the next plate. This is the top plate and part number 6. Now to insert part number 6, the first thing you will have to do is fit the LED light inside this. So we will keep the mandir aside and take plate number 6, and we will also fit the LED light inside this. It is a very simple process. First you insert the cable in the hole and take it out from the top. Once you take the cable out, you paste the LED light on the plate number 6 with the simple both side gumming tape which is already there on the light. You remove the release paper, and once that is done, you paste the light on the plate so that the LED light is fitted permanently. Now this is the top cable. For this we will require an external cable with a socket which you will get in any electrical market, and I will show you how to connect the external cable with the LED light. You first thing that you have to do is you have to split the cable into 2 parts, very simply, just like that. And after that we will have to cut over the rubber insulation so that the inside wires are visible. And this way, once the rubber insulation is removed, you twist the wires so that it forms a single piece. Once this is done, you repeat the same with the other cable as well. You remove the rubber insulation so that the wires are visible, and you twist them so that they form a single piece. The same thing has to be done on the external wires as well. So once on the external wire also once on the external cable both the wires are visible, you take one part of the LED wire and one part of the external cable and join them by entangling them. And after that, once both the wires are joined, you cover them with an insulation tape. This is very important for your safety and as well as the LED light to work. You cover the wires with the rubber insulation tape that you have joined, Ensure that no wires are visible on the outside. Then you repeat the same process with the other set of wires of the LED light and external cable. We twist and join them together. Once that is done, we will fold them and cover them with the insulation tape. We will roll them properly so that the wires is not visible outside and there is no risk of electric shock. So once both the wires are connected and covered with the insulation tape, we will place part number 6 on the mandir. The first thing you do is insert the side slot on part number 4. Once this is inserted, the back 3 slots will automatically align with the part number 1. Then you insert the other slot on part number 5. Yes, now that this is done, part number 6 is also assembled. Part number 7 is a simple crown that you have to slide and lock on the mandir, and the mandir is ready to use. Now we take the external cable with the socket and plug it inside the switchboard, and just simply on switching it on, the LED light will be on and your mandir is ready for use. So now once the mandir is ready, there are 2 slots for wall mounting and there's a stencil. So you can take the help of a carpenter and mount the mandir on the wall wherever you like with the help of these screws and plastic brackets. There's also a sachet of Fevikwik. In case you feel that any of the slots are loose, you can put 2 drops of Fevikwik on them and ensure that the bonding is done permanently on either sides, and the mandir is ready.